Hey guys, it is Monday, February 17th, 2025. My name is Tony. This is my podcast, and welcome to it. Today, I wanted to talk about living without hiding. I mean, this is something I do. And what got me on this train of thought was that I was thinking about how difficult it must be to live in constant fear that someone's going to see through the cracks in a carefully built facade. The stress of keeping up appearances, managing what people know, and avoiding certain conversations just to protect an image. That all sounds exhausting. And I think that's why I chose a different path. In this episode, I want to talk about the freedom that comes with transparency, the power of owning my past, and why I believe real strength comes from being open, not from maintaining a perfect illusion. I want to start today by saying something that's important to me. I don't have anything to prove, but that's not because I don't care what people think. I really do. It's because I have nothing to hide. Over the years, I've made a conscious decision to live as openly and as honestly as possible. I've taken every skeleton out of my closet and put them on display. Not because I enjoy living my mistakes, but because I believe in accountability. I believe in change, and I believe in refusing to let my past be used against me. I prove who I am every single day, not by making grand declarations about my character, but by showing up and living it. A lot of people live in fear of being exposed. They hold secrets, they avoid certain conversations, and they steer clear of anything that might lead people to question them. And I understand that fear because I lived with it for a long time. But I made a choice. I made a choice to, instead of running from my past, to own it. I laid everything out in the open, not as some kind of a flex, not as a way to pat myself on the back, but as a way to keep myself free. Because hiding takes energy. It's exhausting to keep track of what you said, what you haven't, who knows what, and whether today will be the day that someone exposes something you didn't want known. That's not a way to live. So I don't play that game anymore. I live in truth, not because it's easy, but because it keeps me from being tangled up in a web of my own making. That that same mindset, the one that pushes me to be open, also makes me very, very cautious of anyone who suggests we shouldn't entertain certain thoughts or that certain sources of information are off limits. Why? Because people who have nothing to hide don't fear questions. They don't discourage curiosity. I want people to think. And more importantly, I want people to think for themselves. What someone believes isn't nearly as important to me as how they arrived at their beliefs. Did they question? Did they seek out different perspectives? Did they challenge themselves? I respect a well thought out disagreement more than a blind agreement. Because when people tell you not to ask questions, what they're really saying is, I don't want you to find something that contradicts me. And I'm just not interested in that kind of thinking. Living this way, truthfully, transparently, and with a mind open to growth. It's not about perfection, it's about liberation. I don't waste time worrying about being found out because there's nothing to find. I don't avoid certain conversations because I'm afraid of where they might lead. I don't need to micromanage the way people see me because my actions speak for themselves. And that kind of freedom, that's something I wouldn't trade for anything. If there's one thing that I hope people take away from this, it's this. Truth and transparency aren't just about honesty with others. They're about honesty with yourself, about not living in fear of your past, about being open to change, about making peace with who you are, even the parts of you that still need work. Because when you do that, you take away the power of shame. You take away the power of exposure. And most of all, you take away the burden of pretending to be something you're not. So if you ever find yourself afraid of being exposed, ask yourself, what is keeping you from owning your truth? And if you find yourself afraid of certain questions, ask yourself why. Growth isn't about always being right. It's about being willing to admit when you were wrong. It's about being open to the process of change without fear of what that might mean. Whew. Anyways, today was an intense one for me. I don't know if you could hear that in my voice, but I want to thank you for being here today. Until next time, take care of yourselves and stay honest. Stay honest with others, stay honest with yourselves.